Jack Grealish, underwhelming well, is that fair? Underwhelming season to another disappointing turn on Tuesday night when he was forced off through injury for a second consecutive start at Luton. Before the game, Pep had challenged Jack to get back to the levels he showed last season. Before we hear from Simon John, just on that, getting back to the levels, it's difficult, Tim, if you're not playing regular, to suddenly turn up and play fantastic again.
Yeah, Jack's had injuries and no rhythm, to his play. When he's been in there, he would have liked to have played a little bit better, I would suggest, but he's a rhythm player. He needs to play all the time, and he was always very durable, and he's just picking up this groin injury at the moment, and it's reoccurring the other evening. He's devastated with it. He'll be back. If it was a Champions League Cup final and everyone was fit, I'm telling you, Pep Guardiola picks Jack Grealish on the left-hand side over anyone. Doku's come in and done well, but over anyone. He gives them the balance, he holds the ball up, he's got the brain. Definitely, 100% he plays. Hope he gets games before the end of the season because he should be on the left-hand side for England, in my opinion, as well.
Well, Simon Jordan, does he agree? Former Palace owner Simon says it's time for Grealish to show some mettle. Oh.
I think the manager is a call to action there for whatever purpose it is. The point I was making is that there's almost an expectation of certain players to play on the side, and that's, I think, the reference that Guardiola was talking about was he's got to believe himself, he's got to have the confidence in himself, and that's my interpretation of demanding. I know literally knocking on the manager's door and demanding is maybe a different thing in this day and age, but the point is that he has to show some. This is not a good period for him. It's not a dreadful period, but it's not a great period for him, and ultimately you've got the European Championships coming up. He's got to show some resilience.
Well, not just that, Tim. There's some big games for City coming up, isn't there? We're talking Champions League, we're talking like Premier League here. There's some big games that Jack can play a big part in.
All huge games, and that's why the City squad, that's why they're so good, because he uses them all. He does trust them. The only player he's never ever improved is Calvin Phillips, in my opinion. Everyone else who goes in there, even top drawer players, he improves them. And he plays them and he gets the best out of them, and he asks them to do a job what they're best at doing. And I think if Grealish was fit, and he needs to get back as fit as possible, I'm telling you, he plays for Pep Guardiola. He is one of his best 11.
I think the other example of patience as well, you got to trust the manager and Pep, was Foden. There was times you're thinking, why is he not playing regular? And Pep would leave him out.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, look at the way Foden's playing now. Yeah. Magnificent.
Well, probably the best player in the Premier League at the moment, and he is another Englishman, which is not obviously good news for you, Al, but good news for me and the rest of the nation who want England to do well, because for me, Grealish on the left-hand side, Foden, Bellingham either side of Rice, incredible. Yeah. He has to play in the middle of the pitch. He wants to play there. He said it. Pep's even telling that it's his best position.
Where does Maddison come in?
Madison's very good as well. They're all unlucky, them boys, because there's so much competition in that similar position. And way down the pecking order is the boy we just talked about, Marcus Rashford. He'd be way down the pecking order at the moment, the way he's performing, but he's capable.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.